Hello, welcome back to the Hole and Homestead today. So recently, it's getting to be that time of year. It's getting a little bit cooler. It's still mid-August, so you wouldn't expect the weather to be as cool as it has been recently. But we've had a little bit of a fall front move in. So early to mid-August is the right time in northwestern Illinois to start to think about planning out a fall garden. And you may be wondering what I'm talking about with a fall garden. So many of us, myself included, were raised that we buy everything or we start everything and plan it all out over a couple days in May. And that is our gardening season, whatever we planted in May until whenever it's done. And I know that this trend is reinforced by many of the nurseries and big box stores that they put all of their plants out in April, May, and June, and they give you that time period to buy the seeds, buy the plants, and get everything planted, even though that may not be the best time for certain plants. Like, I know that if I tried to plant radishes in June or May, I might get a couple small radishes and then they'd be done. So what you want to do is you want to elongate your growing season and take advantage of more months out of the year to get a better growing season. That's why we're talking about a fall garden today. So, like I said, early to mid-August in our area is when you want to think about a fall garden. We've got about 60 days left until our first frost, which is around October 15th. So you want to be looking for varieties that will mature before then or are going to have a little bit of frost tolerance to them. So I have my seeds split up between summer garden and the cool weather gardens. And the cool weathers I use for spring and fall. So I've already planted some of these out just a couple days ago. But that's pretty boring, so I'm not going to show you what to do it. They're all very simple. Dig a drill, put your seed in it, and cover it over water. So let's talk about some of the types of plants and the varieties that we can plant to start our fall garden. So let's go over some of the things that I planted out just a few days ago to start my fall garden. Alright, so let's go through some of the things in the box that I did plant. So first things you want to consider planting are your leafy greens. We planted some giant winter spinach, some Bloomsdale long-standing spinach, some arugula or rocket, butter crunch lettuce, and then this salad bowl mix of lettuce. So your leafy greens, a lot of these will have a bit of a frost tolerance to help you get more out of your harvest. I'll also be planting most of these things in the greenhouse again in about a month to extend my growing season even further. Then you want to consider something I talked about earlier, and that's radishes. So I planted French breakfast radishes, early scarlet globe radishes, black Spanish radishes, and some daikon radishes. Then you have your brassicas, your brassica-based leafy greens, such as collards and kale. I did dwarf blue curled Scotch kale and red Russian kale. Then we have root vegetables that you can grow. I did purple white top turnips, purple top white globe turnips, early wonder tall top beets, and ruby queen beets. And then you have your chards, which are related to beets, Ford Hook giant Swiss chard, rhubarb chard, and yellow Swiss chard. So those are all things that I grew in my fall garden to get me started. Then there are some other things that you could consider growing. I wouldn't do any romaine lettuces. These take 65 to 80 days, so you might be able to use them as a leaf variety, but you certainly wouldn't be able to get you may not be able to get big heads of romaine lettuce from them. Some people prefer to grow their peas in the fall as they do in the spring. Nice cool period. Falls peas have a little bit of frost tolerance, so the fall would be an okay time for that. And then you can do some carrots. I've got some ox heart carrots here, and you could plant those out and let them grow. Let's see, what else do we have? Green onions, so you're not going to grow these for a bulb, but simply the greens would be an option. Broccoli, maybe something that you want to try growing in the fall if it bolts too quickly for you in the summer due to the heat. Yes, those are the main things. So, you want to look for things that are going to have some frost tolerance and be able to grow for you through a little bit of colder weather. Now they'll germinate quickly and then they'll slow down, and that's due to the temperature drop and the decreased daylight hours. But you don't have to stop gardening whenever your tomatoes die or stop producing, or whenever your zucchini stops producing. You can keep going. You can plant new plants out there and get started. So I encourage you to get out there and plant a fall garden here soon and make the most of your garden. You don't have to leave those beds empty. So until next time, from the Hole in Homestead, have a great day.